Hey guys, welcome back to the James Bond Show. I'm your host, Krazy K with no fears, limits or substitutes. Okay guys, thank you so much for coming back to the James Bond Show. So this is Q&A with Krazy K part 2 or episode 2. I'm going to do one of these each week. So leave your questions in the comments below and then I'll be able to answer them for episode 3. Now, before I get into the questions, I'm going to show you guys something really special and lovely. So as you all know, I'm a James Bond collector. I've probably got one of the world's biggest James Bond collections. I believe I've got the second largest Bond collection in Australia. And yeah, I love collecting. So here's a piece from the incredible Ed Maggiani. He's such a lovely guy. He's a fun guy. Ed and I had, oh my goodness, Ed, what was it? Probably about a 4-hour phone conversation a few weeks back, and he's just a world of knowledge on Bond props, everything, and just we had a good laugh. So hey Ed, and so this is one of Ed's prop pieces. So this is Moonraker gun. So it's the one that Drax picks up at the end of Moonraker, just before. Look at the workmanship there, it's beautiful. These light up. I don't have the batteries in there at the moment. I've been a naughty boy. But these all light up and I love the little display stand. Now Ed's prices are brilliant. They're absolutely incredible. I mean, he goes to so much effort and they're just beautiful. And so this piece here was $250. I mean, only $250. And to have a bit of, you know, Bond-like authenticity in your collection, guys. So I highly recommend you get onto that. So Ed Maggiani, and I will put details to Ed Maggiani in the description section. I will do that for you guys. Okay, so now, guys, what is coming up tomorrow is finally going to be a certain film review I've been promising, and I'm going to show off a collector piece so you know what film review it is. You ready for this? There you go. I'm finally going to review Pierce Brosnan's first Bond film, Goldeneye, and I thought I would show you guys this Bollinger display, Bollinger, the champagne of James Bond. So this is a basically like a POS, a point of sale piece brought out for Goldeneye back in the day for Bollinger, and I think it's gorgeous. So I thought I'd show you guys that as well. Okay, let's get into these questions. And thank you so much, everyone, for sending them in. It's been really, really cool. Okay, now, excuse me for 2 seconds. I'm going to open that door up slightly there so we can hear a bit of that background music. Just hit a Bond cabinet. It's alright, it's just a Spectre cabinet. We can hit that one. Oh, I know. Who was it? One of you subs said they loved the background music. Was it Vic T? Vic T? I think it might be you, Vic T, or Kenneth Allen. Okay, guys. So, question 1. Let's get into this. And I'm just going to give you my upfront, honest answer. And hopefully you like them. So, first question is by Anthony Tabiner, who I know very well, you cheeky man. Okay, do you think the gun barrel will be at the start or the end of No Time to Die? I think it'll be at the start of the film, and I think that's really clear with what Goji Berry said. That's Kerry Goji Fukunaga, as I call him, Goji Berries. So I think because what Goji Berry said, you see the gun barrel, and your adrenaline pumps, and you're off on a ride. So I think definitely the start. This guy grew up a Bond fan. He's not going to go for that waltzy schmaltzy crap at the start of the film and not have the gun barrel. He will be giving us the gun barrel definitely at the start of the film. I think that whole thing like Daniel Craig goes like that, where he's in that, he's actually in a tunnel of Saffron's lair. That's not going to be the gun barrel, and they're not going to have that at the end. That's just for the promo. That's all it is. Okay, so question 2 comes from probably a person with the greatest YouTube username ever, Shamrock Balls. Sir, I like your balls. Okay, so I can't believe I just said that. What is your favourite Bond novel and why? He's done a 2-parter here. What are your top 3 Bond novels? Okay, so the first part, what is your favourite Bond novel and why? That is so hard to answer. I'd have to say, because I started reading the novels when I was so young, and as a few of you know, I'm going back through them now. I'm literally reading Live and Let Die now. And from going back years ago, Live and Let Die. Live and Let Die was my favourite Bond novel. I know a lot of people do like Casino Royale. Casino Royale is not my favourite Bond novel. My top three would be... Can I give you a top three without giving them in a specific order? Because there is a bit of a fight. But basically my top three, and I'm going to give an honourable mention. My top three, Live and Let Die, You Only Live Twice, and On Her Majesty's Secret Service. And You Only Live Twice because of the way it ties into On Her Majesty's, the whole Garden of Death, Shatterhand, Bond going after revenge. That's the film. You know, whether they... Obviously, they couldn't use the title after On Her Majesty's Secret Service in the films because they'd used it for the 1967 Connery version, the fifth film in the series. But if they had used that story of You Only Live Twice after On Her Majesty's, oh, that would have been incredible. And that's what they really should have done. And just maybe called it Shatterhand or something back then. So, yeah, I'd say On Her Majesty is such an incredible, powerful book. In the end, oh my goodness, reading that as a kid and then later in my 20s, just, I cried. Love it. You Only Live Twice, love it. The intrigue, the suspense and everything, and what happens with Bond and, you know, the whole amnesia thing. Loved it. Okay, so question number 3 from Dave Jarvis. Hey, Dave Jarvis. Do you think they will kill Bond off in this next movie in No Time to Die? I've been really full on about this in my videos. The very simple answer to you is yes, I do. I believe they're going to kill him off. I believe that is what the dispute was with John Hodge and Danny Boyle. They presented a script. I think it was more in line of From Russia with Love, and that's apparently what Daniel Craig wanted to do originally. And then some hassles happened, and a rumour came out. He wanted to kill Bond, then it was no, they wanted to kill Bond, and he didn't want to be part of that. So I think they're going to kill James Bond. But of course, apparently Goji Berries, apparently Goji Berries filmed 3 different scenes, and no one knows what the ending is. I don't quite believe that, because I don't think Daniel Craig's doing his last film and not knowing what the ending is, and Barbara Broccoli's not releasing that much power to anyone. So do I believe they filmed 3 endings? Absolutely. But I would say Barbara, Michael, Daniel and Kerry, Goji Berries, they know the ending, and maybe the rest of the cast and crew don't know which one they're going to go with, and that protected the ending. And I believe one of those endings will be he dies, and that, I believe, is what they're going to go with. Okay, so next question from Gregor. Hey, yeah, Gregor. By the way, guys, if you haven't checked out Gregor's page yet, his channel, go and subscribe to Gregor. Grega, Gregor. Check him out. He is cool. Okay, do you think if Safran puts Bond through survival trials, because on a channel, or on a video, I mentioned that I believe that Bond was going to go through trials, so that's what Gregor's elaborating on here. Will they do it like the climax of the Dr. No novel with the giant squid? That is a really interesting point, but maybe it's going to be giant algae, because apparently Safran's a bit of an algae monster and he likes to use the green stuff to terrorize the world or something for revenge, because we're bad environment people. We're naughty to the environment. So, look, I'm not too sure. That would be awesome. I think the squid would have to be probably CGI, though that could look a bit hokey, unless it got a really good big puppet. Yeah, I think he's definitely going to go through trials, but squid or not, I do believe Safran is Dr. No, so it could be really fitting to that. Let's bring on the squid, I say. Okay, so from Gary Bright. Hey, yeah, Gary, he's a regular commenter on this show, the James Bond show, and I appreciate your support, Gary. You are a good man. Where do you see the future of the franchise going in the next few years? That's $1 million question, isn't it? Look, I believe they're going to kill, as I said before, I believe they're going to kill Daniel Craig's Bond off. I don't think they're going to get a James Bond film out for 2022 for the 60th anniversary, which I think will be an absolute shame, but I don't think that's going to happen. I know what I would like them to do in very short. My preference is Matthew Good to be cast as James Bond, and they go back and start again. Like literally just try and smash through the novels. You know, why not have Matthew Good on for, you know, get him in for 14 years or something and get a film out. Like, go back to one a year. If they can do it and shorten the films, go back to at least one or every 2 years, short films, get rid of this CGI garbage, do it like old school, model miniatures and live action effects, and just use CGI to wipe out like lines that are used on stuntmen to keep them safe with big jumps and things like that. That's what I would love them to do. But as far as the future, okay, as I've said before too, Gary, I believe that what they're going to do is they're going to kill Daniel Craig off, and they're going to use Larry Lynch, aka Newman. They're definitely going to use Larry Lunchbox Lynch, the big black transgender, to yes, I said it, to be 00 whatever she is, 007. I believe she's going to take that series with Ray Fiennes as M, Naomi Harris, Moneypenny, and I'm not sure if Ben Whishaw will be back, but I believe she's going to be in that series, and that way it keeps those actors in their roles with her. I just won't go and see it, because to me that, especially if she kept the 007 number, I would just have no intention of going to see it. That's not what Bond fans want. It's just not. Mate, go and create your own great film action heroes for black female, black male, whatever. You know, go for it. As I said, I love Action Jackson in the 80s. I would love to see a modern remake, but it's got to be damn cool and suave. Okay, well, suave with a, you know, street black edge. Okay, so another question from Marcus Everson. Hello, Marcus. What was your first reaction when the news came out that James Bond is getting woke? I mean, what was going through your head that day? Okay, well, first of all, Marcus, it wasn't like it was announced on one day James Bond's going woke. It wasn't like a press conference, hey guys, we're going woke. I could see read the tea leaves through the film industry, obviously what was happening with Star Wars, what was happening in TV in the UK with Doctor Who, what was happening with Ghostbusters in 2016, and of course the decimation of Star Wars with that female empowerment garbage and all males are bad and now have to go hide out on islands and be angry old men while women are powerful and take over the male roles. That was a complete sexist, anti-male hijacking what they did with Star Wars. It was. You can't even argue that. And the story and everything suffered for it. So, look, in Jamaica, when they did the whole Barbara Broccoli announced the Me Too thing, like we're going to be relevant with Me Too, that's when I really thought, oh no. But in July last year, on a Friday, I did a video saying that Larry Lynch would be the next 007. She was getting the 007 title. I got mocked. I got laughed at in the comment section. People had a go at me. 2 days later, on the Sunday, it was announced, that story, the popcorn dropping moment, that she, by all the British press picked it up, that she was going to be the next 007. And it's never been quashed by Eon, and everything that's come out of Larry Lynch's mouth looks like that's absolutely true. So I'm disgusted with it. I was disgusted when I heard Babs say that, but I was more disgusted with Babs when she said that James Bond could be played by an actor of any colour, but he has to be male. Well, of course he has to be male, but for him to be played by an actor of any colour, okay, so Mexican, Eskimo, African, it's just, that's not what Ian Fleming created. He created a white British male agent, and you guys know my feelings on that. So let's get on to the next question. Paul Criziazzi. Hello, Paul. You, sir, are a champion. Paul's a very lovely man who once sent me as a gift a George Lazenby signed photograph, so legend. Okay, so his question is, regarding to the apparent changes to No Time to Die in the editing, Do you think some new scenes were filmed or edited out due to the new 007 backlash, true or not? Okay, so what I think Paul is referring to there is probably the tampon scene, you know, that apparently was filmed and then apparently it wasn't filmed, and then she was going to be 007. There was backlash about that Larry Lynch was going to be 007, and then they were going to refilm it where she was referred to as, you know, a different 00 number. So to be really honest, Paul, I don't know. My gut is that a tampon scene or something like that was filmed and that they were never going to use it, maybe just to empower her on the set, or him, Larry Lynch, whatever. As for the 007 thing, no, I don't think that's gone back and be refilmed. I think she's going to be 007 because I think it's going to play into how they do some humour in the film and stuff like that as well, and banter between them and that rivalry between them, which really I'm just not interested in. Anyway, anything I've seen her in a clip or anything, I've just found really boring. You know, when we saw trailers for No Time to Die and we saw Wei Lin, hey, cool, this looks awesome. You know, kick-ass Asian, Hong Kong Chinese chick, bring it on. You know, I was all for it, but it wasn't about feminism shoved in your face, and that's what they're doing with Larry Lynch. So I just, it's just, ugh. Okay, so Shane Mackey, who would you cast in Bond 26 for the roles of M, Q, Moneypenny, and villains if Barbara Broccoli gave you full control of Bond 26? First of all, Babs will never do that. Secondly, if she did give me full control, she'd be fired. And then I'd do whatever I want. Look, for me, the greatest non-M ever is Sir Anthony Hopkins. He should have been M at some stage. I would have loved him to be M. So I think he's a bit old now, but 10, 15 years ago, back with Goldeneye, I would have cast Anthony Hopkins because I think he's so much like Bernard Lee. I actually love Ray Fiennes as M. I think he could really grow into the role and really become good. But I just want to see M go back to like Bernard Lee style, stay behind the office. But Bernard Lee still had a beautiful father figure, a kind of, you know, he did have a love for Bond. You could tell he respected Bond, and there was that kind of love there for him. You can definitely tell that. Same as Q. Who would I cast as Q in a new Bond? Oh, probably a no-name actor. Someone maybe a good British stage actor. Someone that isn't a big-time actor, just a small part actor that's happy to come in and do that role as Q and kind of bugger off. And that's why I think someone like Ben Whishaw is wrong for the role. I can't see his Q going anywhere. I thought he was good in Skyfall. He was good enough. But I just don't get his relationship with Bond. And there were some great lines in Spectre as well, especially that thing about him having his balls as Christmas decorations. But let me get back to you on a full answer to that. Also with a new Moneypenny. I would go back to a white Moneypenny. I really would. That's how Ian Fleming created it, so I prefer that. Though I do, you know, I know even Ian Fleming in Casino Royale, his version of Felix is completely different to one of my favourite. And one of my favourite Felixes is Bertie Casey. I love him as Felix Leiter in Never Say Never Again, but I just think I'm not a fan of Naomi Harris. I don't think she's a super strong actress either. But I will get back to you on an answer of who I think could be a good Moneypenny, because to be really honest, I don't know enough British actresses, but I would go after someone similar to Caroline Bliss, and again, an actor that could just come in and do that role and not be known for anything else. Okay, so another question. Do you think it would be a good idea to reboot the Bond? Sorry, I didn't write down who wrote this question. I know who it was by. It's by Chris, aka the man with the Panama hat. So that's his username. And I asked him today when he wrote this question, what's your actual name? And he said Chris. So hey, you Chris. So man with the Panama hat. Do you think it would be a good idea to reboot the Bond series as a serial for a streaming provider using the Fleming novels set either in the 50s or the 60s? Okay, quick answer for you. No. To me, James Bond is about going to the cinema screen. I just think he needs to be at the movies. I think Amazon and Netflix and things are really in danger of killing off cinema, and I don't want that to ever happen. I believe James Bond should be on the big screen. However, if the novels were being done, kind of like if you look at the producer team behind Cobra Kai, the TV series, which is continuing the story of the Karate Kid, they're doing an incredible job. If you haven't seen Cobra Kai, guys, you got to see it. It is amazing. If a team like that took on the James Bond novels and did them so faithfully, yes, I'd like them set 50s, 60s. And yeah, I'd kind of be open to it, but my preference is Bond on the big screen. So I hope I answered that for you. And that's pretty much all I have, guys. So get your questions in, and thank you to everyone for those questions. If you've liked what you've seen here, please subscribe to the channel. And guys, when you hit subscribe, a little option will come up with a bell. If you tap that bell, you will get an email notification, because I'm not putting these on Facebook anymore. I'm not sending them in Messenger anymore. I'm letting the channel now sink or swim. So it's up to you guys to tap that little bell. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this episode of Q&A with Krazy K Part 2. And I'll see you guys next time. And until then, keep on bonding and say hi to your mum for me. See ya.
This video was brought to you by the Bond Fags Only, the worst page of Facebook. Hey, Craggy Craig, that's not very nice. What do you mean it's not very nice? Well, we need to be nice to people. But Joe Fag and Aaron Coote are bitches. Really? That's not very nice. Why don't you just shut up and sing a song with me? What are we gonna sing? Aaron Coote is the big bitch, biggest bitch in the whole wide world, the biggest bitch, the biggest bitch, the biggest bitch in the whole wide world. Aaron Coote is a biggest bitch, the biggest bitch, biggest bitch in the whole wide world. Monday's a bitch, Tuesday's a bitch, Wednesday he's a bigger bitch, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday he's a bitch. Aaron Coote will always be a bitch. Ha! Bitch!